Good morning. Morning, Gajendra. Good morning, Krishna. Happy Ganesh Chaturthi to all of you. Okay, this is a brief introduction, right? My name is Ankur Aggarwal. I'm a freelance educator having a working experience of more than 14 years and right now associated with the Unacademy. And you can follow me on the Unacademy. And if you wish to take the Unacademy Plus subscription, then you can use the referral code that is Ankur IES, by which you will going to get the 10% discount on your subscription. ठीक है, इसके अलावा जो है यहाँ पे दिस इज द थिंग राइट नाउ द प्राइस इज 49,679 और 15 सितंबर को जो है यहाँ पे ये प्राइस जो है यहाँ पे चेंज हो जाएंगे, ठीक है। और 15 सितंबर को न्यू प्राइसेस आ जाएंगे। न्यू प्राइस कितने रहेंगे यहाँ पे अभी अनअकैडमी नहीं बताया है। सो यू ऑल कैन यूज द रेफरल कोड दैट इज अंकुर IAS and can have the plus subscription right now. These are the new batches which are starting from the 15th of September, the 1-year batch of the UPSC. And this is the plan they have made it. From 15th September till the 31st March, they will be focusing exclusively on the prelims and the mains. Then from the 1st April till the 31st May, they will be focusing exclusively on the prelims. Then 5th June you will going to have the prelims examination. From 10th June to 10th September they will going to focus exclusively on the mains. And then 16th September you are going to have the mains examination. This is a 2022 batch. And these are all the faculties who will going to take the batch in the bilingual as well as in the English medium. And these are the optional subjects which are basically getting launched in the month of the September. And the combat is going to be there on every Sunday. Unacademy used to take the combat at 11 AM. So you can join that combat also by using the referral code Ankur IAS. Okay, now let's start our session. First question. With reference to the Indian freedom struggle, consider the following statement about the non-cooperative movement or the non-cooperation movement. It was approved by the Indian National Congress in a special session at Calcutta under the leadership of Veera Raghava Charulu. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel founded Rashtriya Vidyapeeth in Ahmedabad during this movement. The Indian merchants and the mill owners enjoyed the good profits during this movement. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? Okay Rahul, okay Mohit, okay Kishan, okay Gajendra. Right Ashish. Right, correct answer is A, 3 only. Congress held a special session in Calcutta in September 1920 under the presidentship of Lala Lajpat Rai. It met to pass the resolution of the non-cooperation movement. Mahatma Gandhi ji founded the Rashtriya Vidyapeeth in Ahmedabad during the movement in 1920. That's why statement 1 and statement 2 is not correct. Third is right. The Indian merchants and the mill owners enjoyed the good profit during this period as a result of boycott of the British goods. Second question. He was a mathematician turned astronomer, historian, journalist, philosopher, and the political leader of India. He wrote a book on the origin of Aryan people. He was one of the founders of the Deccan Education Society. He was Gopal Ganesh Agarkar, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Gopal Krishna Gokhale, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad. जय श्री गणेश प्रसाद जी. ओके कृष्णा, ओके गजेंद्र, ओके आशीष, राइट मोहित, राइट विद्या. आंसर इज बी, बाल गंगाधर तिलक. Arctic Home in the Vedas is a seminal work on the origin of Aryans presented by Lokmanya Bal Gangadhar Tilak, a mathematician turned astronomer, historian, journalist, philosopher and political leader of India during 1880 to 1920. It propounded the theory that North Pole was the original home of the Aryans during the pre-glacial period, which they had to leave during the ice deluge around 8000 BC. ठीक है, बुक 1898 में लिखी थी लेकिन पब्लिश 1903 में हुई थी. जी, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. With reference to the Governor General during the colonial rule in India, consider the following statement. Lord Hardinge I brought social reforms like abolition of the female infanticide and the practice of human sacrifice. Lord Mayo established the Statistical Survey of India and the state railways. Lord Canning introduced Income Tax Act for the first time and created the Indian Forest Department. मॉर्निंग महिमा. ओके आशीष. अच्छा ठीक है गजेंद्र. किशन क्या होगा? ठीक है राहुल. मॉर्निंग हेमा. ठीक है प्रसाद. आंसर इज सी. नहीं किशन. Lord Hardinge I introduced the social reforms including the abolition of female infanticide and practice of human sacrifice. So first statement is correct. Right? He established the Statistical Survey of India and introduced the state of railway. Second is also correct. Lord Canning introduced income tax for the first time, but the Indian Forest Department is not created during his period. It was the John Lawrence who created the Indian Forest Department. नहीं, बेंटिक ने नहीं किया था. सती किया था यहाँ पे. बेंटिक ने जो है यहाँ पे जो बोला था यहाँ पे, उससे पहले ही लॉर्ड हार्डिंग कर चुके थे. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. पर्सन और ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इन्वॉल्व बताइए. मार्गरेट कजन, ऑल इंडिया विमेन कॉन्फ्रेंस, स्वर्णा कुमारी देवी, सखी समिति, पंडिता रामाबाई, आर्या महिला समाज. Which of the pair given below is correctly matched? लॉर्ड हार्डिंग वन बेटा. जिसने ऑफिशियली जो है यहाँ पे गजेंद्र जो है यहाँ पे पास किया था कि हाँ भी बैन होगा। एक होता है रिकमेंड करना और दूसरा है कि हाँ भी एक्ट ला के बैन करना। फीमेल इन्फेंटिसाइड के लिए नहीं आया था, सती अबॉलिशन एक्ट आया था विलियम बेंटिक के टाइम पे। Yes, right. Answer is D. Write this down. All India Women Conference, founded by the Margaret Cousin in 1927, was perhaps the first women social religious reform movement organization with an egalitarian approach. Sakhi Samiti or the Society of Friends, started by Swarna Kumari in 1896. Pandita Ramabai Saraswati founded the Arya Mahila Samaj to serve the cause of the women. With reference to the trade relations of India during the 18th century, consider the following pairs. चाइना से हम क्या इंपोर्ट करते थे? चाय, चीनी, ठीक है, पोर्सिलेन एंड द सिल्क। यूरोप से गोल्ड, मस्क एंड वुलन क्लोथ्स। अफ्रीका से पर्ल, रॉ सिल्क, डेट्स एंड द ड्राइड फ्रूट्स। ठीक है किशन। ओके गजेंद्र। ओके मोहित। यस, राइट आंसर इज ए। कहा प्रसाद भैया यूरोप से गोल्ड मंगवाओगे अब तुम? Tea, sugar, porcelain and the silk are imported from the China. So pair 1 is correctly matched. Gold, musk and the woolen clothes are imported from the Tibet. ठीक है, pearl, raw silk, wool, dates, dried fruits and the rose water are imported from the Persian Gulf region. Morning Anurag. चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Consider the following statement regarding the peasant activity in the Indian freedom struggle. N.G. Ranga established the Indian Peasant Institute. Karshak Sangham came into existence in the Kerala region. Bakasht land emerged as the focal point of the agrarian dispute in the United Province. Which of the following statement is or are correct? कहा हो? बहुत स्किपिंग कर रही हो यहाँ पे विद्या. ओके गजेंद्र, ओके किशन, ठीक है महिमा. आंसर इज ए. नाही भैया, काहे किशन भैया के पीछे चलत रही. Bakasht land emerged as the focal point of agrarian dispute in the province of Bihar. ठीक है. Kerala, in the Malabar region, the peasants were mobilized mainly by the Congress Socialist Party activity. Many Karshak Sangham came into existence. Andhra, this region had already witnessed a decline in the prestige of zamindars after their defeat by the congressmen in the elections. Anti-zamindar movement was going on in some places. Many provincial riots associations were active. N.G. Ranga had set up in 1933 the Indian Peasant Institute. Okay, Kishan. चलिए, consider the following statement about Montague-Chelmsford reforms. It introduced the provision for joint sitting in case of deadlock between the legislative bodies at the center. This act for the first time separated the provincial and the central budgets. It provided for the establishment of Federal Public Service Commission. Yes, Mohit. राइट आंसर इज ए. ठीक है, ज्वाइंट सिटिंग की प्रोविजन गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एक्ट 1935 से आई थी. यस राइट किशन. और गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एक्ट 1919 सेपरेटेड फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम द प्रोविंशियल एंड द सेंट्रल बजट्स with the provincial legislature being authorized to make their budget. ठीक है, और थर्ड जो है यहाँ पे वो रॉन्ग है. गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एक्ट 1935 से ही एफपीएससी आया था. और हर साल जो है यहाँ पे यूपीएससी एक्ट से जरूर कुछ ना कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछता है. ज्योतिबा फुले के बारे में बताइए. बाल गंगाधर तिलक जी gave ज्योतिबा राव फुले the title of Mahatma in recognition for his selfless service to the humanity. He served as a member of Bombay Legislative Council for 3 successive terms in the latter half of the 19th century. Which of the statements given below are correct? थोड़े ने कुछ ज्यादा भावुक हो गए. गणेश चतुर्थी पे मेरा व्रत है. आईसीआईसी किसी आना दो प्रसाद भैया. ओके गजेंद्र. ओके यहाँ पे ठीक है. राहुल फर्स्ट इज रॉन्ग श्योरली. अच्छा किशन. ओके निष्ठा. यस राइट आंसर इज डी. दोनों ही स्टेटमेंट रॉन्ग है. ठीक है. द ग्रेट रिफॉर्मर फ्रॉम द मुंबई राव बहादुर विठल राव कृष्णाजी वांडेकर gave ज्योतिराव फुले द टाइटल ऑफ महात्मा. Both Jyotiba Phule and his wife worked together in the field of Dalit and the female education. He was diligent and a social worker. He did not serve as a member of the Bombay Legislative Council. वाह हेमा, सबसे तारीफ मिल गई. चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. कंसिडर द फॉलोइंग पेयर्स. ट्राइबल अपराइजिंग. खासी तीरथ सिंह ने लीड किया था. खौंड सेवाराम ने. भील चक्र बिसोई ने. ओके मोहित. ठीक है आशीष. राइट क्वेश्चन. ओके प्रसाद. ओके महिमा. आंसर इज वन ओनली. हाँ बस ए ही पता नहीं था और कोई बाकी नहीं था. After having occupied the hilly region between the Garo and the Jaintia hills, East India Company wanted to build a road linking the Brahmaputra valley with the Sahelite. Khasi, Garo, Khamti and the Singpho organized themselves under the Tirath Singh to drive away from the strangers from the plains. From 1837 to 1856, the Khans of the Odisha at the Srikakulam and the Vishakhapatnam district of Andhra Pradesh revolted against the company rule. Sharma ji, morning. Next question. कैबिनेट मिशन प्लान 1946 के बारे में बताइए. Constituent Assembly would frame the constitution separately for the union and the provinces. Interim government was to be formed from the Constituent Assembly. Provinces were to have the full autonomy and all residuary powers would vest in the provinces. Three-tier executive and the legislative structure at the union, provincial and the section levels. तुम लोग सबके साथ ये है, चल चले सी के साथ. यस, आंसर इज ए. सुधारना तो है नहीं तुम लोगों ने, मैंने नॉट पूछा था. लेकिन नहीं, गजेंद्र भैया कह रहे हैं, किशन भैया कह रहे हैं हम तो चलेंगे. It recommended a single constitution. An interim government was to be formed from the Constituent Assembly. Provinces were to have the full autonomy and the residual powers. Three-tier executive and the legislature at the provincial section and the union level. ठीक है, इसीलिए फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट जो है यहां पे वो सही नहीं है. चलिए स्वदेशी मूवमेंट के बारे में बताइए. स्वदेशी and the boycott were adopted as a method of struggle for the first time in India. Aurobindo Ghosh toured the country urging India to boycott Manchester cloth and the Liverpool salt. Boycott resolution was passed by the INC in the Calcutta Town Hall meeting under the leadership of Anand Mohan Bose. Swadesh Bandhab Samiti garnered unparalleled mass support, particularly from the Muslim peasantry. अरे यार नेट नहीं चल रहा, धक्का देने का बिड़ू, 4-5 लोगों को बुलाने का. ठीक है गजेंद्र. ओके मोहित, ओके आशीष, ओके हेमा. ठीक है किशन. राइट, आंसर इज बी. Swadeshi and the boycott were adopted as a method of struggle for the first time. Boycott included boycott and the public burning of the foreign clothes, boycott of the foreign made salt or the sugar, refusal by the priest to ritualize the marriages involving exchange of foreign goods, refusal by the washermen to wash the foreign clothes. ठीक है, ए जो है यहाँ पे गलत है और ए सही है, सॉरी. The formal proclamation of the Swadeshi movement was made on 7th August 1905 at a meeting held at Calcutta Town Hall. Leaders like the S. Banerjee, Anand Mohan Bose, K. Mitra, Prithvi Chandra Ray attempted to bring the people of Bengal through addressing a huge gathering. ठीक है, हाँ राइट। तो यहाँ पे किशन किशन ने स्किप किया, अब तो फॉलो नहीं किया किसी ने। ठीक है मोहित डियर, ये बाल गंगाधर तिलक जी ने कहा था, Our nation is like a tree of which the original trunk is Swaraj and the branches are the Swadeshi and the boycott. सर ये वाला पीडीएफ मिल जाता थोड़ा सा, थोड़ा कितना, एक दो क्वेश्चन का या 5-6 क्वेश्चन का? नहीं मोहित, ये देखो क्या है, स्वदेशी बंधप समिति garnered the unparalleled mass support particularly from the Muslim peasantry. ठीक है, जो मुस्लिम किसान थे उन्होंने इस समिति को जो है यहाँ पे अपना सपोर्ट दिया था कि आपको कोई भी हमारे से मदद चाहिए हम आपको देने को तैयार है। चलिए नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, लखनऊ पैक्ट 1916 के बारे में बताइए। While the League agreed to present the joint constitutional demand with the Congress to the government, the Congress accepted the Muslim League position on separate electorates. मॉर्निंग मंटू भैया, मैं तो सोचा आज आप ही जो है पंडाल में गणेश बन के गए हैं इसलिए आई नहीं क्लास में। The Muslims were also granted a fixed proportion of seats in the legislature at all India as well as provincial levels. Which of the following statement is or are correct? ठीक है प्रसाद, ओके मोहित, ओके विद्या, ओके ऋषिकेश। Right answer is C. Lucknow session of the Indian National Congress. Lucknow pact between the Congress and the Muslim League could be considered an important event in the course of nationalistic struggle for freedom. While the League agreed to present joint constitutional demand with the Congress to the government, the Congress accepted the Muslim League position on separate electorates, which would continue till any one community demand the joint electorate. The Muslims are also granted a fixed proportion of seats in the legislature at the all India and the provincial level. नहीं, सेंट्रल के साथ साथ प्रोविंशियल में भी था किशन, जो पैक्ट में जो है यहाँ पे डील हुई थी। Now, next question. Consider the following statement regarding the development of judiciary in India. The Supreme Court established in 1773 had both the original and the appellate jurisdiction. Lord Cornwallis provided for the use of vernacular language for proceedings in the courts. Lord William Bentinck was responsible for the separation of the revenue and the justice administration. महिमा इतिहास से ही, इतिहास गवाह है ऐसे प्रश्नों का राइट शर्मा जी, राइट प्रसाद, राइट ऋषिकेश, करेक्ट आंसर इज सी। सेकेंड एंड थर्ड स्टेटमेंट इनकरेक्ट है। ठीक है, लॉर्ड विलियम बेंटिक प्रोवाइडेड फॉर द यूज ऑफ वर्नाकुलर लैंग्वेज फॉर द प्रोसीडिंग इन द कोर्ट, एंड लॉर्ड कॉर्नवालिस वाज रिस्पांसिबल फॉर द सेपरेशन ऑफ रेवेन्यू एंड द जस्टिस एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन। क्या हुई के बाद गजेंद्र भैया? Under the Regulating Act of 1773, Supreme Court was established at Calcutta, which was competent to try all the British subjects within the Calcutta. It has the original and the appellate jurisdiction. हाँ जी, गजेंद्र दोबारा देखना। ठीक है, now Trade Dispute Act of 1929 made the strikes illegal in the public utility services, made compulsory the appointment of courts of inquiry, secured immunity both civil and the criminal for the trade union from prosecution for legitimate activities. ऋषिकेश ठीक है, मैं अपने टेलीग्राम चैनल पे इसको जो है यहाँ पे दे दूंगा। ज्वाइन द टेलीग्राम चैनल, दैट इज अंकुर आईएएस। ठीक है, मैं उस पे जो है यहाँ पे कर दूंगा शेयर, आज वाली जो है यहाँ पे मैं शेयर कर दूंगा। आंसर इज ए। थर्ड स्टेटमेंट इनकरेक्ट है बेटा। यस, ट्रेड यूनियन एक्ट 1926 secured immunity both civil and criminal for the trade unions from prosecution for legitimate activities. The Public Safety Ordinance and the Trade Dispute Act made compulsory the appointment of the Court of Inquiry and Consultation Board for settling industrial disputes. It made illegal the strike in public utility services like post, railways, water and the electricity. अरे तो किताब अगर तुमने छापी होगी तो नहीं छपे होंगे ना भैया। This is a Trade Union Act beta 1926. It recognized the trade union as the legal association, laid down the condition for registration and the regulation of the trade union activities, secured the immunity both civil and the criminal for the trade unions. Consider the following statements. Campaign against the tariff protection and direct government aid for encouraging the modern industry. Expansion and the reform of legislative councils. Criticism of the judicial system. Protection of the civil rights. Which of the above statement represent the demand of moderate nationalists? ओके ऋषिकेश, ओके मंटू, ओके प्रसाद, ठीक है किशन, ओके हेमा। हेमा जी का इतिहास काफी स्ट्रॉन्ग है. आंसर इज सी. ये फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट बेटा इनकरेक्ट है. To mitigate the deprivation characterizing India's life, moderates demanded encouragement of the modern industry through the tariff protection and the direct government aid. From 1885 to 1892, the nationalist demand for the constitutional reform was centered around the expansion of the council, that is, greater participation of Indians in the council and reform of councils. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, कॉम्युनल अवार्ड के बारे में बताइए. द कॉम्युनल अवार्ड प्रपोज्ड टू एस्टैब्लिश सेपरेट इलेक्टोरेट्स एंड रिजर्व द सीट्स फॉर द डिप्रेस्ड क्लासेस एंड द माइनॉरिटीज. इट वाज बेस्ड ऑन द फाइंडिंग्स ऑफ इंडियन फ्रेंचाइजी कमिटी. Congress rejected the communal award as it was an attack on the Indian unity and the nationalism. आशीष क्या होगा? निष्ठा. Yes, right answer is A. Rushi, you joined the channel, beta. After the class, I'll share the PDF. While strongly disagreeing with the communal award, the Congress decided neither to accept it nor to reject it. The communal award was announced by the British Prime Minister Ramsay MacDonald on 16th August 1932. ठीक है. The communal award based on the finding of the Indian Franchisee Committee established the separate electorate and reserved seats for the minorities. नजर लग गई है मेरे इतिहास को. कोई बात नहीं, इतिहास को छोड़ भविष्य पे नजर रख. लोग तुझे तेरे भविष्य के बेसिस पे डिसाइड करेंगे क्या करेगी. चलो अगला क्वेश्चन. The nationalist sentiment which reached a crescendo around the INA trials developed into three violent confrontations with the authority in the winter of 1945 to 46. Consider the following statement in this regard. These upsurges were confined to few urban centers only. The Congress does not officially support these upsurges. Arrest of the rating for scrawling Quit India or the on HMIS Talwar was one of the reasons for RIN rating revolt. ओके राहुल. ओके मोहित. राइट गजेंद्र. राइट निष्ठा. राइट मंटू. यस, आंसर इज डी. तीनों स्टेटमेंट सही है भाई. The nationalist sentiment which reached the crescendo around the INA trials developed into the violent confrontation with the authority in the winter of 1945-46. जी, प्रसाद कांग्रेस ने सपोर्ट नहीं किया था बेटा पहले। ज्यादा ही ठोके ठोके करता रहता है, यहाँ पे यूपीएससी ने ठोक देना है। ठीक है, कांग्रेस ने इसलिए जो है यहाँ पे ऑफिशियली सपोर्ट नहीं किया था, बिकॉज दीज अपसर्जेस बिकॉज ऑफ देयर टैक्टिक्स एंड द टाइमिंग। बेटा कुछ इंडिविजुअल जो है यहाँ पे शर्मा जी लीडर्स को जो है पार्टी का स्टैंड नहीं कहते बेटा। अब जैसे तूने कहा कि सर जो है यहाँ पे मैं तो जाऊंगी, मेरे को तो दुबई जाना उसके साथ, लेकिन पूरे परिवार का स्टैंड नहीं कहलाया जाएगा ना वो। चलिए नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन। ऑगस्ट डिक्लेरेशन ऑफ 1917। ठीक है शर्मा जी। It declared that realization of the responsible government in India is an integral part of the British Empire. The government, along with the Indian leaders, were to decide the nature and the timing of advance towards the responsible government. Which of the statement is or are correct? Okay, Anurag. Right, Rishikesh. Right, answer is A. ठीक है, सेकंड स्टेटमेंट रॉन्ग है बेटा। नहीं मोहित, सेकंड रॉन्ग है बेटा। The government along was to decide the nature and the timing of the advance towards the responsible government, and the Indians were resentful that the British would decide what was good and what was bad for the Indians. The Secretary of the State for India, Edwin Samuel Montague, made a statement on 20th August 1917 in the British House of Commons in what has come to be known as the August Declaration of 1917. The statement said, the government policy is of increasing the participation of Indians in every branch of administration and gradual development of self-governing institutions with a view to progressive realization of responsible government. एक यही तो चीज है जिसमें प्रसाद सबसे आगे है। बाकी एमसीक्यू के सेशन में इसके मार्क्स देख के तो यूपीएससी भी शर्माने वाला है। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन। With reference to the British India government attitude towards the INC, consider the following statement. The government encouraged Sir Syed Ahmed Khan to form the United India Patriotic Association to counter the Congress propaganda. Lord Dufferin called Congress a factory of sedition. Okay, Rishikesh. ठीक है हेमा, डफर था ना बेटा इसलिए तुझे स्किप कर दिया। जी राहुल। दोनों स्टेटमेंट सही है बेटा. British India government was hostile to the Congress from the beginning despite the later moderate methods and emphasized on the loyalty to the British crown. The official attitude stiffened further after 1887 when the government failed to persuade Congress to confine itself to the social issues, when Congress was becoming increasingly critical of the colonial rule. Dufferin called Congress a factory of sedition. Later, the government adopted a divide and rule policy towards the Congress. Officials encouraged reactionary elements like Sir Syed Ahmed Khan and Raja Shiv Prasad Singh of Banaras to organize United Indian Patriotic Association to counter the Congress propaganda. कोई नहीं ऋषिकेश, गलतियों से सीखना है बेटा, मेन इंपॉर्टेंट बात ही है, गलतियां तो होती रहती हैं. Now, next question. The British government decided to send a high-powered commission of 3 members in Feb 1946 to India. Who among the following was or were the member of this commission? Clement Attlee, Stafford Cripps, A.V. Alexander, Leo Emery. Okay, Gajendra. Right, Mr. Answer is B. Right, the Attlee government announced in Feb 1946 the decision to send a high-powered mission of 3 British cabinet ministers, Patrick Lawrence, Secretary of the State for India, Stafford Cripps, President of the Board of Trade, and A.V. Alexander, First Lord of Admiralty, to India to find out ways and means for a negotiated peaceful transfer of power to India. Next question. Consider the following statement. Sannyasi revolt was a peasant revolt against the harsh economic order of the British in the eastern India. Kuka movement in Punjab got transformed from a political movement into a religious purification campaign. The Paika rebellion in Odisha was a failure as they failed to secure any concessions from the British. अच्छा मंटू, राइट राहुल, ओके प्रसाद, राइट, आंसर इज बी. राइट गजेंद्र, नहीं इनकरेक्ट पूछा था, सेकंड और थर्ड स्टेटमेंट इनकरेक्ट है. Kuka movement got transformed from a religious purification campaign to a political campaign after the British took over the Punjab. Paika rebellion succeeded in getting large emission of areas, reduction in assessment, suspension of the sales of the estate of defaulters at the discretion, a new settlement on the fixed tenure and other adjunct of the liberal governance. Sannyasi revolt, the disastrous famine of the 1770 and the harsh economic order of the British compelled a group of sannyasis in eastern India to fight the British yoke. चलिए, देसाई लियाकत पैक्ट के बारे में बताइए. It proposed that Central Assembly would consist of equal number of Hindus and the Muslim elected by the Provincial Assembly. It proposed that 20% seats should be reserved for the minorities at the center. The pact was supported by the Congress and the League. Which of the above statement is or are correct? Okay. ऋषिकेश सी या डी? दो ऑप्शन दे दिए तुमने। चल आंसर सी है। पहले पे सही थे, दूसरे में गलत हो गए। स्टेटमेंट वन इनकरेक्ट है। The pact proposed for equal number of persons nominated by the Congress and the League to be in the Central Assembly. The pact was not supported by the Congress and the League. Bhulabhai Desai, leader of the Congress party in the Central Legislative Assembly, and Liaquat Ali Khan, deputy leader of the Muslim League in the Assembly, came up with the draft proposal for the formation of an interim government at the center, consisting of an equal number of persons nominated by the Congress and the League in the central legislature. 20% seats should be reserved for the minorities. हाँ जी मंटू, जब जो है यहाँ पे पंजाब में ब्रिटिशर्स आ गए थे तो रिलीजियस से पॉलिटिकल और पॉलिटिकल दोनों ही पर्सपेक्टिव थे। ठीक है, इट वाज रिलीजियस टू पॉलिटिकल फर्स्ट। रिलीजियस तो पहले थी ही। But no settlement could be reached between the Congress and the League on these lines. The fact that a sort of parity between the Congress and the League was decided upon. Yes, Kishan. एक हमारे मंटू जी हैं, हेमा जी करती है। और हेमा, ओ मंटू सुन ले तू अच्छे से, मैं तेनू दस देता। मॉर्निंग कुणाल। Consider the following statement regarding the Anglo-Mysore rivalry. The first Anglo-Mysore war ended with the Treaty of Mangalore. Warren Hastings was the Governor General of Bengal during the first and the second Anglo-Mysore war. Mysore accepted the subsidiary alliance after the fourth Anglo-Mysore war. Which of the above statement is or are correct? अच्छा, मुझे पढ़ा गया पहले मंटू। कुणाल जी अभी पढ़ा रहे हैं, पधारे हैं। ब्रो कुछ लड्डू शड्डू लेके आए हो? शड्डू भी मिलते हैं वहां पे? यस, आंसर इज सी। फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट इनकरेक्ट है। फर्स्ट एंग्लो मैसूर वॉर एंडेड विद द ट्रीटी ऑफ मद्रास। सेकेंड जो है यहाँ पे, वॉरेन हेस्टिंग बिकेम द गवर्नर जनरल ऑफ बंगाल इन 1773, whereas the first Anglo-Mysore War took place from 1767 to 69. चलिए नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन। Consider the following statement regarding the permanent settlement introduced by the Britishers. It was introduced by the Alexander Reed. The zamindar right of ownership was made hereditary and transferable. The system remained confined only to the province of Bengal. Okay, next question. Consider the following statement regarding the permanent settlement introduced by the Britishers. It was introduced by the Alexander Reed. Zamindar right of ownership was made hereditary and transferable. The system remained confined only to the province of Bengal. Which of the following statement is or are correct? 1 only, 2 and 3, 1 and 3. Right. Correct answer is B. Cornwallis introduced the system of permanent settlement. It was initially introduced in the Bengal region, but gradually it was extended to the Odisha, northern district of Madras and the district of Varanasi. Cornwallis, the second Governor General of Bengal, introduced the system of permanent settlement in 1793. Under this system, zamindars who earlier only had the right to collect revenue were established as the proprietors or the owners of the land. So, last question for today. Gandhi and Ambedkar shared many ideas, though in many ways they held different beliefs. In this context, consider the following statement. Ambedkar advocated annihilation of the caste system to remove the untouchability, while Gandhiji did not oppose the caste system. Gandhiji approved the separation of politics and religion as opposed to Ambedkar. Both Gandhi and Ambedkar were in favor of the Gram Raj as it meant real independence for the Indians. हाँ जी कुणाल. Right answer is A. ठीक है, सेकेंड स्टेटमेंट इनकरेक्ट है. Ambedkar approved the separation of politics and religion as opposed to the Gandhi. Third statement is also incorrect. Ambedkar believed that the Gram Raj would continue the social hierarchy based on discrimination and the inequality, and thus he was not in its favor. राइट अनुराग जी? ठीक है, चलो, थैंक यू एवरीवन. Please do like the session, join the Telegram channel, that is Ankur IAS, and tomorrow I will be bringing the MCQ on the geography. ठीक है, और अभी 15 मिनट बाद जो है हम अनअकैडमी प्लेटफॉर्म पे मिलते हैं कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव क्वेश्चंस के साथ. राइट, थैंक यू सो मच.